When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech for Troops. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech for Troops, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome back to our Wednesday night series here on the IWM Broadcast Network. We've got the Tech for Troops Cup Series, and tonight we are at Kansas. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Rick Souza here with my co-broadcaster, John Drudris. And John, this is a whole different game here at Kansas, and there's Tech for Troops Cup Series.
Yeah, totally different. You know, we go from the high banks of Daytona International Speedway, 2.5 miles, to this 1.5 mile intermediate track that has multiple grooves. You have the lower lane, the middle, and a high lane. So you have a lot of different areas to move. And, you know, last week we had a big field. This week we're cutting it down to 43. So only 43 can make the race. So if you're outside that cut line, you're not making it. We have right now currently, I believe, close to 53 entries. So 10 guys are going to go home tonight.
Yeah, so you've really got, this isn't one of those races where you can hang out in the pits and just, not qualify, join the field at the end, or just phone it in. No, you've got to get out there. You've got to turn a good lap. You've got to get top 42, or you are in trouble. You are packing up that hauler and going home.
Yeah, and that's not what you need. You know, with field sizes this big, this is the first time we've ever had to have this situation happen. Typically, we're right at that 43 car count, but we have more, and we're going back to how NASCAR used to be. You come to the track, and if you qualify within, the top 43, you made it. If you don't, you're going back home. So you have a lot of drivers right now that are going to be very, very careful when it comes into qualifying, and we'll see who is going to be some of these drivers that are out. Now, right now, we have about a minute left of qualifying. At the last spot, you have Brad Slagle. Now, I take that back. You have Aaron Jackson. Aaron Jackson is in that 43rd spot. Down at the bottom. And some notable names, Rick, really quick that I see at the bottom of the screen below this cut line. You have William Mann Jr., Jeremy Flanagan, Mark Hanna, David Watts, Maurice Burnett, Jeff Denis, Pete Woodrum, Zachary Groover. So some very important names there at the bottom. But switching to the top, you have Tyler Beebles at the top of the board.
Yeah, great time turned in by Tyler, 31.622. And really looking down the list, that 30th, that 31 times, it's a 921. So there's 3/10 right there between 1 and 30th. Still tight, still close, but unfortunately, there's a number of guys who may not make the cut. Right now, my board says, William N. Jr. may not make it. Brad Slagle may not make it. Jeremy Flanagan may not make it. Mark Hanna, Evan Amick, David Watts. Those are familiar guys that are not going to make this race.
Yeah, we just finished up. That's it. William Ann Jr., Jeff Denis, Mark Hanna, David Watts, Jeremy Flanagan, Evan Amick, Brad Previn, and Brad Slagle did not make the show.
Wow, that is that's the nature of the beast. You've got to get out there. You've got to qualify. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and bring up our grid for the night.
Let's go ahead and do it. All right, starting on the poll for tonight's Tech for Troop and Goat Racing Diecast Kansas Speedway race. You have Tyler Peebles in first, Zach Ward in second, James Lowe in third, with Chris Worrell to his outside in fourth. Marco Berube in fifth, Christopher Howell in sixth, making his the first season appearance here. Nathan Harper in seventh, Mike Slatker in eighth, Harley Barletta in ninth, and Joey Doucette rounding out the top 10.
Zach Allen in 11th, Jamie Dunning is in 12th, in 13th, Jeff Nair in 14th, Lilith Peters, Sammy Harrell is in 15th, and Chuck Van Scoik is in 16th, Luke Bullard in 17th, Ryan Pittman in 18th, John Ledger in 19th, and Ian Ogden in 20th.
In 21st, you have Craig Mayer. In 22nd, Jesse Vaughn. 23rd, Derek Cook. 24th, Philip Vandertwick. In 25th, you have Sean Skytman and Alonzo King to his outside in 26th. In 27th, you have Justin Horton. Bobby Gibson to his outside in 28th in the 28th. And in 29th, you have Ty Bostic and Doug Lockrow rounding out your top 30.
In 31st, Rodney Uberbacher. 32nd, Ethan Thompson. 33rd, Cody Sturgill. 34th, Kane Vandermark, Austin Habel in 35th, Freddie Durstock in 36th. In 37th, Josh Keller, 38th, Christoph Hall, 39th, Garrett Johnson, 40th, Brian Johnson, 41st, Ryan Andrews, 42nd, Ryan Walter, and our last entry, I believe, is Aaron Jackson in 43rd. Those numbers outside that number aren't racing. They're going home.
Yeah, about a tenth right there between those guys at the back end of the field. So tough break for some of those guys, but that's the beauty of this. That is the beauty of Cup Series racing, especially with field sizes this big. Really quick, we need to talk about what happened last week. You saw definitely some interesting results there at the end of the race at Daytona. Chris Worrell got the win with Zach Ward and James Lowe finishing first, second, and third. So Chris Worrell already locked himself into the championship there in that 06 machine. But we got 150 laps here tonight, Rick. 50% fuel, 5 sets of tires, and we also have no quick repairs on this race 3 green, white checkers. Track a little bit hot for 79 degrees ambient temperature. Outside, you got the track temp a little bit toasty. And Rick, while we're at it, let's go ahead and give my 3 keys before they start hitting the green flag. 3 keys of the race. Number 1, right front, need to conserve. Number 2, you can use the high line. Oh, we got 2 laps. Oh, that's so nice of them. Spend a little more time. So, yeah, the right front's going to matter a lot simply because you have a lot of different specific lines you can run. You can run the high line. I prefer the high line. You can run the low line. And that is going to be probably one of the preferred lines. But I think the high line is going to be the way to go. And that's my number 2 point. Use the high line. You have to use it to your advantage. You get such a run off the corner. You can preserve tires. I think that way better than on the inside. The inside just uses a lot, especially off corner exit, so you slide up. And then last, pitch strategy and track position is going to work hand in hand here. I think we're going to have some green flag runs, which means track position is going to matter in a 43-car field, as well as your pitch strategy. When are you going to come down pit road for the second to last stop or the last stop of the race to possibly secure your win? So, a lot playing here at stake at Kansas.
Absolutely. So, again, full field. We have Not quite sure how the lap counters are working the way they are. We'll just have to see how that all plays out. But Tyler Peebles is the control car. He is pretty much leading this field to the green flag and looking to get this one underway.
Yep, we're about to get this race underway, our second race of the year, and we are looking to see who can bring home a victory here tonight at Kansas. Pace car drops down. Next Gen Cup Series car is about to get into the restart zone. Green flag in the air, and we are off here at Kansas. No lane adjustments yet, but Rick, we got 43 cars at Kansas. They're going to go 3 wide. I know that for sure.
Absolutely. It's just one of those tracks. Now, Kansas is a 1.5 mile track, but it's wide, so there's lots of opportunity, and there's also lots of places you can bail out.
You can, and lots of places to bail out, and one thing that happens is lots of potential sliding. So off corner exit, especially out of turn 2 and turn 4, it's going to be loose. Watching these guys right now, you can see you're doing a great job 1 lap in. It's beautiful to see all those cars racing that close together here at Kansas. But a big thing that we have this year that we didn't have in years past, Rick, no quick repairs. You have to keep your car clean. If not, you're going to be sent home just like those guys in qualifying. Now, here we go. This is where we see the field. A little bit loose right there with that Tide machine in the back, but able to keep it underneath them.
Looking back through the field, just watching. So you got Tyler Peebles out in front. He's holding it pretty tight. Zach Ward right there. And behind Zach, you've got the 07 of James Lowe, a relatively newcomer. Oh, caution's out.
Yep, in the back. I think that is Freddie Durstock. I may be wrong. I saw a couple guys dropping down the pylon. Oh, no. Maybe not.
Kane Vandemark possibly was involved. Let's go back and
back this one up.
Oh, there's lots going on. Let's back.
Oh, and nowhere to go. Hey.
We're backing it way up because there's lots of contact between the 2 and the 39. Let's try to get a far chase on that and going to go forward. So the 39, and bear with us, lots of new drivers here this time around. 39, is that Horton?
Yes, that would be the 39 machine of Horton. Oh.
Definitely contact with the 2 in the left rear quarter.
Just kind of kept on him.
Yeah. It's like they were stuck together for a while. 39, though, continues to come down. And then the 25 of Thompson, unfortunately, gets into the 2's left rear, spins him a bit. That's going to send him up the track, back in through the 25. 32 slips by. Unfortunately, the 41 gets collected. He's involved. That 2 has been like a pinball in that.
Yeah, he's about to get hit again. He is about to get hit again.
Oh, the goes right through him. That is the 49. Lots of damage towards the back of the field. There are a lot of guys out. Durstock was in. Ethan Thompson was in.
Well, that brings out our first caution of the evening here.
It does. 4 laps in, we've got our first caution of the night. 3 laps probably at the time of that incident. This is one of those tracks where you've got to have patience. You can't just assume that spot is yours when you've got such an incredible field.
Exactly. You have such a big field, and the talent level, I think, is the most competitive we've seen it yet. We are in our 4th season here with the Tech for Troop Cup Series, and since season 1, we've seen dominance, and every year it's dwindled, and I think this year you're going to see, less give and take. I think you're going to see drivers who, in years past and seasons past, you wouldn't see at the top of the boards. Now you do. So, looking at Zach Ward, looking at Mike Sladker, he's been on, a good run here. Marco Berube up in the top 10. All these guys looking to get possibly their first wins in their careers here in the Tech for Troop Cup Series.
All right, lights are off on top of the pace car. That means we're going right back to racing momentarily. They're on the back stretch now. That pace car will be dropping off relatively soon. Again, this is a 1.5 mile track, so action happens quick.
Very quick, to say the least. Alrighty, pace car drops down. Coming to 6 laps complete here at Kansas. They enter the Geico restart zone, and green flag back out in the air. Good jump from the 75 machine of Tyler Peebles. You know, I remember when he used to run that McDonald's car, now running the Columbia scheme this week. He was always fast, Rick. I remember in years past, in seasons past, he always was at the front. It always seems, I don't want to, jinx him here by any means. He always seems to get caught up in something. So let's hope that's not the case this year for the 75.
Yeah, absolutely. He was always someone that we saw work his way up to the front and get around. It just never lined up exactly for him. But so far, good qualifying effort and good results so far.
And as you can see, as the lanes start to form, you start to see where guys want to be. You see the high line starting to get involved right there with the 7 machine, exactly where James Lowe, all these guys in the back. This is where you're going to start to see the tires start to heat up a little bit. The guys are going to be a little bit more aggressive with how they move. And Rick, when you get more aggressive, you are shrinking that margin of error. So it's definitely going to be a battle of attrition all race long with 141 laps to go, 142 exactly. But Tyler Peebles still out front.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks where you can use that apron on the front stretch and drop down. There will be some penalty you will pay, but it certainly is. It adds that that width to the track and allows you to make a move.
It does.
So again, this comes down to preserving your tires. As we go for an extended run, you get 18, 19 laps on those tires. They're hot. They're not quite as sticky, and the car will begin to push as you enter into turn number 1 and turn number 3.
It sure will, and that's the beautiful thing about this track. You can see the 2 different lines right there with the 88, the 7, and the 07. 88's going to get a massive run off this corner and try to battle that 7 going down into turn 1, and that's what you like. That's what I particularly like, backing up the corners and getting that nice run on the top. That way you can power off. I think the high line is the way to go. I think that it is the best line to run, and I think it's the best line that's going to win. And Rick, really quick, look through this field. The field is separated already by 8 seconds. Christoph Hall there back in 37th. This field is separating quick. So if I had to add a 4th key to this race, it is going to be lap traffic. You're going to deal with it. It's going to happen, and especially give some green flag runs.
Yeah, right now the backstretch separates the 6 of, that's Austin Habel, I believe. He's currently on that backstretch. He's about a half a stretch in front of the 75. He'll be the first car that 75 will encounter from a lap perspective. It's Austin Habel in the 6. There's already this field has whittled down after that incident to only 37 cars on the lead lap. There are a number of drivers, Brian Johnson, Brian Walter, and Doug Lockrow, who are trapped in the pits because they're trying to get repairs made after that first incident that we had on lap 3.
So what you're already seeing right now, I'm looking at the counters. We've seen this in a lot of mile-and-a-half races this year. You see the guys that are going to be up front, with that clean air, that's going to help quite a bit. But then you have everybody behind them, all separated by, 1/10, 2/10 of a second. Who's using up their tires? Who's not using up their tires? This is when you're going to start to see those tires start to gain probably their maximum temp at normal conditions. And then you're going to start to see the fading of the tires. Lap times are going to start to go down. Right now, the fastest time on the track was a 31.5 with Tyler Peebles there. And his last lap was a 31.9. So already dropping 0.4 of a second. So I'm curious to see how this is going to play out for a guy like Tyler Peebles out front, knowing that he has a big gap. Do you preserve? Do you keep on pushing forward, knowing you have clean air? Do you bet on the caution? What's your strategy? But I think it's going to be a major tire race this race, and also track position. So,
Yeah, huge gap over the second place car of Christopher Howell. Really, look at it, it's nearly a full second between those two.
yeah, just about. It's been about 8 to 9 tenths of a second every single lap between him and Christopher Howell. It's the first race we've seen Mr. Howell racing this year. I don't believe he was in Daytona last week, was he?
I don't recall. Go back and look at the stats.
Yeah, I'm looking through a little bit right now. I don't believe he was in that race. No, I don't think he was. No. So, this is a big statement for him. And as we were talking about this, look at now James Lowe, a new face to the league. He's now trying to make a splash there on the inside line, going against Harley Barletta, who a proven winner here in the Tech for Troop Cup Series in the 81 machine. So, Rick, 16 laps in, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts this early on? Who do you think we may start seeing move up towards the front of the field?
Well, I've already seen some big movers. Ian Ogden, currently back here in 10th. Ian is someone who's moved up. He started around the 20th position. He's already picked up 10 positions since this race started. Another big mover, Jesse Vaughn. Jesse started back in 22nd position. He's now up to 12th.
Well, there you go. There's your answer.
So a lot of movers and shakers right now are kind of getting their game on. Bostic is another. Ty Bostic started towards the 29th position. He's now picked up 10 slots. Bostic is up to 20th position. So another big mover, Garrett Johnston in the 20. He was back there in 39th. He's now up to 23rd. So we're seeing some select drivers begin to find their way up through the field and make up some spots. And a big mover, Ryan Andrews, he was back there in 27th. He was back there in 41st. He's now up in 27th. So, it's a long race. 150 laps are only 19 laps in. But there are some guys who are, making their way up through the field and making a mark here. And we're not saying you got to chew into that 150 and do it as quickly as you can, but certainly you've got to make an effort to start chipping away and working your way up to the field, because you don't want to have to try and run it all up at the end.
No, you don't. Not at all. That's where you don't want to be. And looking right now, some big droppers throughout the race. Marco Berui down 12. Zachary Allen down 20, Charles Van Stroik and Sammy Harrell down 17 and 19. Kind of surprising, but we always see them at the end, so I don't expect, anything too bad out of those guys in that respect. But, looking at some other drivers right now, a couple guys that are battling in this pack right here, the 25 and 74, the cars look stable. They're not getting super loose, and they're not having major issues with the car. Rick, really quick though, we could have a battle for the lead between Peebles and Christopher Howell, as the lead has dwindled down to just about 0.2 of a second. Christopher Howell, part of AJM, Average Joe Motorsports, is right there, and his teammate, Mr. Harley Barletta, is right behind him. Those AJM guys are always strong, Rick.
They absolutely are, and I would expect it around this time. This is lap 22 of 150, and that's right about the time where you're going to see that tire wear begin to really come into play here. Your car is going to be pushing a bit more as you enter turn 1 and turn 3. You got to really work to get it to bite through that corner, come back off apex 2 and 4, and charge back to the front. If you don't do that or you fight it, the more you turn your wheel, the more scrub you're going to have on those tires, and that is going to wind up leaving you alive as we get further in this lap count.
Oh yeah, it's just going to destroy your momentum. It's going to really offset the tires, and you don't want to push these tires too far, especially when they're worn. You know, you see a little bit of a protective measure there from the 75 machine, and this is going to allow the 81. Oh, 81 tags the wall there, Rick. Coming out of turn 2. I'm gonna be a little shocked to see the 75 hold the lead much longer, because here comes that 88 machine trying to get up to the front. But don't forget about James Lowe and Chris Howell. They both finished in the podium last week at Daytona. We're not able to see, you know, those guys race much last year. Obviously, James, a new driver, but they seem to be some of the top runners. And we have a caution.
It's like Bobby Gibson may have crashed.
Yes, he is down at the bottom of my tracker right now. Oh, man. What happened to Bobby?
Well, we can go take a look. Oh, we don't want that shot. Hang on.
Well, he's sideways.
He was sideways. It's like he was caught in an incident with the 32 of Uberpacker. You know, that's exactly what we saw in the previous wreck. So he's down low on the apron, and let's take this up here. You know, it's super easy to lose your perspective as to where your competitor is. So 32 is kind of running his line. The 28 looks like he basically drifted up into him, didn't realize the 32 was there, and unfortunately collected both.
Yep, that's exactly what happened, and I hate it. And the 32 just pushed that 28 down the track. Reminds me of Kyle Larson and Ross. Was it Kyle Larson and Ross Chastain at Darlington?
Could have been.
Can't remember. But either way, that brings out our second caution of the night. And what this brings down is the field. We have our leaders down on pit road, 75 out of the 88, making their way down pit road here at Kansas for the first time.
Everybody's coming down. The entire field is coming in. That's going to be chaos, because it's one thing to pit in iRacing with 20, 25, 30 entries, but this is a full field. Every slot is full. You've got to hit your marks, get in there, and get out without collecting anybody else.
Yeah, and we saw, I think, two guys, Rick, either not take right side or not take left side tires or something, because I see Ryan Andrews with a 7.48 pit stop time and Alonzo King with the 4.38.
Yeah, that tells me that's only.
That sounds like right sides and fuel for the 74 of Ryan Andrews and fuel only for Alonzo King. So we've only had about 22 laps of green flag action. About 22 laps. And maybe a little bit more than that. Maybe 23. But still, you would think, oh, well, there goes the 20 back down pit road. That's a little bit of an interesting play unless they're anticipating having to save tires.
I
right?
think, this is one of those opportunities where if you miss your pit, you're screwed. So he may have not pitted. And
I guess that could possibly be a good point. He jumped 40 spots from not 40 spots. He started all the way back in 41st. Ryan Andrews did. So we'll see what happens now as the field is starting to get out of pit road, and we may see one to go next time by. That's a very aggressive move, though, I think, very early on.
Yeah, I'm a little bit bewildered by what to expect here with these two guys who will be on the front row. Neither took fresh tires. I don't believe Alonso may have. Ryan Andrews may have. But, this could be interesting.
I'm going to, while we're under caution here, I'm going to back this up while you have the live broadcast on. I'm going to look and see specifically what they did, because I'm very curious here about this. Where did Mr. Ryan Andrews go?
Well, the field should be forming up now. Lights should be going off, and they are on top of our pace car. That means we are about to go back to racing next time. Bye. And again, folks, we thank you for tuning in to the IWM broadcast of the Tech for Troops Cup Series. We appreciate you tuning in on whatever stream you're watching. We see an incredible audience out there. We appreciate those who have tuned into our live broadcast, and to you, if you're tuning in and this has been recorded and as a replay, we thank you. We appreciate you, and for those that are, if you could like and subscribe, that way we can keep you up to date. We've got another race tomorrow night with the iNASCAR League. Fabulous group of guys. Again, another full field like this. And we will be doing the duels at Daytona.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Those duels are always exciting. By the way, clarification, Andrews and King both pit on lap 3. Andrews, it looks like, took tires, and I think Alonzo King may have taken tires as well. I really don't know, but they came down pit road on lap 3. So definitely a little bit older tires, but they're at the front of the field. And we're about to get the green flag back in the air. Ryan Andrews leading them down. Alonzo King on the outside. Green flag.
They had a good
How this
jump.
is going to play out.
Yeah, I go back and look and see maybe their teammates, because they timed that one pretty well.
Here comes the 75. I mean, this is what we're going to see. 75 makes an aggressive move down to the bottom side of the track. Austin going to go 3 wide. Is he going to have the run? Oh, he is gone. He is back.
So their teammates. So so Alonzo King and Ryan Andrews are teammates. That explains a lot on that restart.
It does, but this is going to stack up the field there, Rick. Here comes the 80 back, battling alongside, but here comes Christopher Howell to the inside. 3 wide for the lead as we go down into turn 1. 75 and the 88, power past the 80.
Yeah, he did not have the tires to hold that. Oh, look, the 75 was loose. Big wreck.
It's the 81.
Big
We're
wreck.
wrecking.
This is a huge wreck in the middle of the field. A lot of cars damaged, a lot of wreckage right in front, from the front.
Well, that was the teammate of Alonzo King right there, from what I can see. I believe that was Ryan Andrews. Yep.
And digest. Big shakeup with a lot of these. Let's go back and take a look at that real quick. You can already see it right there.
I think he got bumped. Yeah, I was about to say, he had a little help there.
So we're falling behind the 74 of Ryan Andrews. The 06 of Worrell came up and tapped him in behind. I think he was off the pace. Unfortunately, that spun him and he collected the 81. And at that point, let's try to get a bigger shot here.
Oh, yeah, Ryan Pittman there is involved. John Ledger makes it through. You got a couple AJM guys. You got Luke Bullard right in the middle of that as well. A lot of good cars in this one, Rick.
Yeah, you saw the 08 there. That was just not what a lot of these guys were hoping for here with only 33 laps in. All right, you can see some significant front end damage on that 74 of Ryan Andrews. All right. Well, lights are on the pace car. That means this is our second caution of the night. Sorry, third. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We will be right back. Stay tuned to the IWM Broadcast Network of the Tech for Troops Cup Series.
Are you looking for a way to safely and securely dispose of your old electronic devices? Why not donate them to Tech for Troops? Tech for Troops is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to bridging the technology gap for in-need veterans and their families. The donation process is quick and easy. Simply go to techfortroops.org and click on the donate link at the top right-hand side of the page. Scroll down to access the Give Back Box link. To create your shipping label, click Add to Cart and complete the checkout process. The shipping label is good for up to 50 pounds. You can recycle most standard shipping boxes to send in your devices. Oh, don't forget the power cords. Give new life to your old technology by responsibly recycling with Tech for Troops. Help save the environment and support a veteran.
All right, welcome back to the IWM broadcast of the Tech for Troops Cup Series here in Kansas. I'm Rick Souza here with my co-broadcaster, John Derugis. We are under caution here at lap 34. We had an incident a little bit towards the front of the pack, but we are back underway. Christopher Howell in the 88 currently showing us the way and will be the control car for the restart.
He will, and we've seen him win a couple races here in the Tech for Troop Cup Series, and he's no stranger to being up front. But he got a lot of hungry dogs behind him who I think are within equal playing terms. I think, like I said before, this field is leveling out. And, I mean, look at Peebles, look at Lowe, look at Doucette, Harper, Aaron, Worrell. I mean, all these guys want to win. So we'll see what happens as this field starts to battle through some attrition. What line is he going to take? That's the question. High line or low line? He is going high. As the 75 goes low, I would agree with that decision. I think the high line is the right line to take, especially coming out of turn 2 to get a massive run.
I think the winning strategy, as you indicated, that high line is the way to go. Again, it preserves your tires the most, and also that when you're dropping down to the apron, you're scrubbing off a little bit of rubber, and that is impacting the heat in your tires. So,
for sure. And that's the biggest thing is, building up heat in the tires so that you can get to optimal speed, but then not pushing it too hard to where you're wearing them out too fast. It's a balance, and it changes. With a hot, slick track, you may be able to afford running in a high line and getting your tires heated up there, but with a cool track, you may have to go down to the bottom where your tires are going to be under a little bit more pressure. They build up, then you move to the high side. So this race, I think, is going to be heavy, heavy tires and track position, as we've seen so far.
all right, pace car has dropped off. Cars are through the Geico restart zone, and the green flag is out. We are back to racing here at Kansas.
Very good start on that high side for the 88, then drops down to the bottom. Interesting move there. As you see, somebody got in the wall back there. Not sure who that was.
Well, they're right there, the 6 and the 27. That's Jeff Nerin. That's Chris Worrell right there. They're side by side. Look a little farther back. I mean, when you're running 2x2 here, you've got to be really cognizant of that car on the inside or the outside.
Oh, you do. I mean, it's happened to me where I've been battling on the high side. The car below me doesn't see me, and then vice versa. I do the same thing. It's just because the track, it slings you up so much, and you get such a little bit loose there in the back. I think we're able to be okay, but 75 and the 88 are battling right now. 75 trying to take the air off the 88's left corner panel to get him a little bit loose. Didn't seem to work. But we are nose to tail, first through fifth right now.
Very tight racing here at Kansas. This is just one of those tracks where it just breeds this type of racing here, and you can see just there, you can drop in and out and really take an aggressive line. That's the 11 of Joey Doucette, who has now slipped under low. Of course, F75 is going to get a great run on that outside.
Yeah, and Joey Doucette's going to battle all the way to the bottom of the track, slides back up. Can't complete the pass. Is he going to try a slide job? Maybe. No, doesn't seem he's able to get the grip in the tires. We have to settle for third.
It's a heck of a gamble because all of that aggressive driving is doing nothing but putting more heat and wear in that tire.
Correct. And those guys got so close out of turn 4 right there.
Yeah.
Against that wall. And that wall will creep up on you. And it's not going to be the last time we see somebody get really close or even hit the wall. It's very easy to do.
That's the 7 of James Lowe right there behind Joey. Well, now to the outside of Doucette, relegating Joey back into the solid 4th place finish. See the 7 drift up, take that high line. He's looking for a run. And he gets it.
What I'm noticing here with these front leaders, big run there on the 75 as well. These leaders are taking very different approaches to their lines. 75 seems to be diamonding a little bit more. And Christopher Howell seems to be sticking to a lower apex out of the corner comparatively to Peebles. Oh, he's a little loose there. 88 got a little bit loose, which is going to allow the 75 to creep right up to his back doorstep. What does the 75 do?
I think the 75 may have taken a little bit of air off his spoiler and upset his car.
He's going to try it again right here. Oh, Christopher Howell shut the door on that 75.
Big
75
move
now
by
has a run.
Yeah, and now the 11's now in play. That's Joey Doucette.
Slide job.
You got Chris
You
Morrell
gonna try
now. Chris Morrell on the 06 has now entered the the arena here. He has moved up.
75 let the 88 of Howell have that high line. Kind of surprised on that one because we had the position. Ooh, 88 almost tagged the wall. But
I think he's got I think it's got a little bit of help with the 07. That's kind of helped him. I mean, even though it's a 1.5 mile track, there's still some drafting that happens here.
75 drifts up and takes a spot. Contact or no? I couldn't tell between him and the 88, but great racing up here in the front for the lead.
These 4, 5, 6 drivers up here are battling for these positions. Solid racecraft being shown by Howell. Now Worrell has taken over second in the 06.
He has.
And moved himself around the 7 of Lowe. Peebles, the 75, has now found himself back in 4th place. These top 10 guys have kind of spread themselves out, given themselves a little gap going back to the 37 of Skytman. So top 12 are together. Then we got another pack forming a little bit farther back.
Yeah, they're about half a straightaway behind these leaders. And what you're seeing now is the 06 go to the high side, the 88 go to the low side. 6 may have a big run here out of the corner. He does. Big run from the 06 machine. There he goes to the bottom of the side of the track. Oh, he slid right up there against that 88. No contact yet between those guys, but here comes the 75 again, Rick.
And we're just fixated on the front here. There's just absolutely... They're just swapping positions here. Just some tremendous racing between Howell, Worrell, Peebles, and Lowe. And now the 4 of Nathan Harper has entered the room.
75 hit the wall, Rick, which dropped him back. But here's the 06 to the outside of the 75. Oh, he was not clear.
Contact.
Christopher Howell was not clear there on the 06 machine. Push the 06 up into the wall. And 06 is like, I am not happy with that one. I'm going to move right past you.
That is not, that's going to leave a mark. 06 stays up high.
Here we go off the corner. 06 powers around. Last week's winner, Chris Worrell, out front here at Kansas.
Oh, a little bit of contact.
49.
There's a tap with the 07. right, while we're watching what's happening here, let's drop back to that next group. That's led by Chris Meyer. He's there. He's working that with Zach Allen, I believe.
I believe so.
A bit farther back. That's Ethan Thompson. He's battling Luke Bullard. Kind of stretching out the field a bit here. Got Jamie Dunning back here in the 42. He's got the 80 of Alonzo King up underneath. Justin Horton in the 39 is back. He's working against Garrett Johnson. Ian Ogden is back here in 22nd position. Josh Keller in the 73. So the field is kind of stretched out behind our leaders. Carly Barletta all the way back in 24th. We saw him battling up front. Zach Ward down all the way to 25th. Good Ryan Pittman back here. He was getting caught up a little bit in that one of those incidents earlier. Sammy Harrell back here in 28th. Goat Racing, Chuck Van Scoik back here is certainly in 31st.
Kind of surprised with that one, Rick.
Yep. Aaron Jackson's back here as well. Ryan Andrews, who we saw, is now sitting back here in 33rd. Got the 18 of Aaron Jackson there. That's a new name. Christoph Hall in the 98 back here as well. But you know, these goat racing guys, they figure out a way. So I figure that we'll see them make their way back up front. Coney Sturgill is here in the 64, another goat racing driver. And Marco Berube, he's the last car on the lead lap, sitting back here in 36th. That's a flashy, reflective paint scheme he's got running there.
Looks good. I like it. And Rick, our battle for the lead has intensified quite a bit.
Yep, James Lowe has now taken over the lead in the 07. Chris Worrell behind. Nathan Harper has made his way back up as well. Not really happy with his choice of paint scheme, but it's all good. That's what it is.
Hey, I represent it. I support it.
All right, 55 laps in the books.
Caution's out.
Caution is out. Not sure. Ian Ogden possibly involved.
Yeah, Ogden is dropping like a fly on the board. What happened in the 19 machine, or the 21 rather?
It may have been a single car incident. Maybe not. Looks like he may have got involved with the 7 possibly. Well, I'm not sure exactly why we can't show that replay. I will try one more time. That's
definitely a lot of contact. I think it may have been a blink.
I think you're right. I think it was a blink. I'm going to follow the 7 here. Let's see what we can see. Oh, yeah. Wow. He dropped out for a while there.
I mean, you didn't even know who was there. Man, that's awful. I hate it for both drivers.
I mean, I'm following him back a lot. We're going almost half a lap. Wow. All right. There you have it. We'll explain that in a second. What we do know is that we've got the entire field pretty much has made their way down onto pit road. That is pretty impressive as they come off out of the pit stalls.
It is James Lowe. Got the win out of pit road. He will be starting in P1. And looking up the top of the board right now, got some big movers. Jesse Vaughn up 15 in 7th. Ty Bostic up 20 in 9th. And Sean Skytman up 12 in 13th.
All right. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Hi, America. Mark Casper, President of Tech for Troops. I wanted to take a moment to say thank you for making 2023 such an amazing year. We completed our mission, and it feels good to have another successful year behind us. But I want to tell you, this year, 2024, is our 10th anniversary. 10 years of doing this mission, and you have been so supportive of us. So I want to take a moment to say, please continue to support us. We're going to have an event or more every month. Please stay tuned in our calendar. Please stay tuned on our social media. Join us in the celebration of our mission and what we do. And we look forward to seeing you and having your support for our mission of ending veteran homelessness through bridging the technology divide. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much.
All right, welcome back to the Tech for Troops Cup Series. We are under our 4th caution of the night so far for an incident where really, this happens. We can't lose sight of the fact that this is a computer simulation, and when someone's connection is not solid, they disappear like that. Sometimes they come back, and it's perfectly fine. Other times, they come back right in front or another driver. Sometimes actually that car will drop right into your car. So it's a little bit unnerving, and it typically doesn't cause a caution. This time, unfortunately, the 7 of Zach Ward was caught up in it, and we had a wreck. So here we are. Well, as you can see, James Lowe will be up front. And as the leaders are forming up, the 06 of Worrell is on the outside. Got Nathan Harper, Chris Howell, Joey Doucette. Lilith Peters has worked way up to 6. Tyler Peebles. Jesse Vaughn now up to 8. John Ledger, Bostic. That's your top 10. Some great moving so far.
Yeah, great movers and a lot of different competitors up front that we haven't seen too much. But again, this field is so talented. It's the most diverse we've had. It's one of the biggest we've had. And right now, with 35 cars in the lead lap, honestly, I think every single one of them has a chance to win. I genuinely do.
I mean, just look at the I rating of your top 6 drivers.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. It's, north of 3,000 for every single one of them. So we'll see what happens. Pace car drops off again. They're in a Geico restart zone, and we're green flag racing here at Kansas again. 60 laps of 150 complete, 90 laps to go here in this 150 lap affair. Side-by-side racing for second on back, with Lowe leading the pack out of turn 2 right now.
This is always the most challenging. I think we saw Jesse Vaughn drop out, got super loose, dropped to the low side. 22 of Ty Bostic right in behind him at 14 above. That's Mike Slagter. Restarts are always the most crazy.
They are. I was going to say, I can't wait to see Jimmy Johnson run that paint scheme there. Rick, that Carvana petty blue paint scheme is a beauty. So exciting to see that on track here tonight. Again, yes, you're right.
Contact in the wall and behind.
Was that Skytman?
I think he saved it. Yeah, caution has not come out, so he saved it. Looking back through midfield, you're 2 and 3 wide here. Lots of action in the back of the pack. Definitely 3 wide there. Got Skytman up top.
And they hold it.
Got the 20 of Garrett Johnson. He's the meat in the sandwich. He bails. The 51 was lower. That's Craig Meyer. Yellow flag is back out. Ian Ogden, again involved. That's got to be a connection issue.
It has to be.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think Ryan Pittman was involved as well. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened to Ryan. Ooh, that's a lot
He was trying to, I think, avoid the 21.
Let's go back up to the 21.
It definitely wasn't a blinking issue this time. I can tell you that.
All right, we'll take that. Looks like he just may have just gotten loose. Yeah, by himself.
He's loose there. Here comes the 18 machine.
That's Jackson. Tries to correct.
Oh, wow.
They get together. The 28 of Bobby Gibson slips below.
Thompson squeaks by, and then Pittman's just out of control trying to avoid it. There goes Vandertwick to his outside. I don't think Pittman hit anything.
No, he just tore up his tires. All right. And as you would expect, he's on pit road. All right. Not sure if Jason can hear us. If you are, Jason, pop in. We'd love to talk with you tonight. All right, we'll catch up with Jason Parker when he's available. Looks like that's the 6 of Austin Habel who's gotten his lap back.
Yep, that'll put, depending on drivers, I think still 35 cars on the lead lap. Rick, I was going to ask you, what's your thoughts of the race so far? You know, we've had a handful of cautions and a decent amount of green flag laps. What's your take on it?
I'm super impressed. I mean, yeah, we've had 5 cautions. I think at least 3 or over half of the cautions were, blinking issues, car got loose, simple things that happen, especially in a field as large as this. So I'm impressed. We've got some great drivers here. Those battles up front, those were awesome to watch.
They definitely were, and we are going to see more of those as the race goes on, and that's where it gets fun. That's where people actually start to make some moves to get a win. So Chris Farrell up there in first, he's looking to go back-to-back.
Absolutely. So 5th caution of the night here on lap 65. Seen some great racing so far from Worrell, Lowe, Harper, Howell, Doucette, Lilith Peters, Tyler Peebles, John Ledger now up 11 spots into 8th. Jesse Vaughn now up 13 into 9th. Mike Slagter is in 10th. Other big movers, Ty Bostic, he's up 18 spots to 11th. Garrett Johnson up 20 spots to 19. Justin Horton as well, plus 12. Christoph Hall, another one of those GOAT racing drivers, he's up 16. Josh Keller up 14. So we've seen lots of great movers. And on the flip side of that, Zach Ward down 25 positions from his starting place of 2nd. He's in 27th.
Yeah, and again, another driver I'm surprised with is Charles Van Scoik. I mean, he may be playing the long game here. I don't remember him getting involved in an accident, but we're used to seeing him battle up front. I haven't seen him.
Well, you know,
he may be playing.
Yeah, he's right there with Sammy Harrell. They're teammates. They're both in the pits right now. They're probably in there making adjustments, trying to get back out there. There's plenty of time. Race is not quite even at the halfway point, so, and they're still in the lead lap, so good opportunity to try and get back. Although they may end up dropping. Nope, they're still on the lead lap, so we'll see how it plays out. They are on the tail end of the lead lap.
Well, Rick, we're about to get the green flag back here. It looks like the 6 is holding back a little bit. He starts to go a little bit faster there. Pace car dips down. We're about to be at lap 67 here tonight at Kansas. We thank you all for tuning in. Green flag is now back in the air for the field. The 06 and the 07 take us down into turn 1. Side by side is the whole rest of the field.
Big jump by the 06 of Worrell up front. Field all the way back is 2 and 3 wide. Again, I mentioned before, this is always the most challenging part of the race. One of the reasons why you hear us say that cautions breed cautions. When you bunch the field back up, it's dog eat dog for those slots.
Definitely is. Gotta love all these cinematic shots, Rick.
Well, it's a great way to see how far back and how wide this field is running from some of our fixed camera positions.
It's cool to hear them too. I know everybody on all of our channels are loving that right now. Again, thank you to everybody who's tuned in for tonight's race.
All right, looking back through the field, looking at the 84 of Jesse Vaughn, currently sitting back in 9th, and he's back there. John Ledger is right behind him in 10th. See Ty Bostic there as well. Ty's right there battling the 42. That's Jamie Dunning. Going back a little farther. Whoa. Bullard may have possibly a connection issue. Not sure.
Yeah, we've seen him with connection issues in the past, so that wouldn't surprise me. Nothing this season, though.
He may just have blinked there for a second, but he was kind of going through our telemetry, was looking a little bit off. But taking a look back, let's go all the way back to Charles Van Scoik and Sammy Harrell. They're kind of working their way back up and out of the basement. They're now up to 31st. Towards the tail end of the field, and then at the back you've got Ryan Andrews. He's a lap down. Austin Habel and Aaron Jackson back here as well. All right, back up at the front. A little bit of a change up. Got the 88 of Christopher Howell has moved up front. Chris Worrell is battling Nathan Harper. Joey Doucette is in the fray with the 7 of Lowe. Got the 01 of Lilith Peters back there as well. She's currently showing in 7th. Now, Lilith Peters has a 33.43 I rating.
Pretty impressive.
But this front pack is really holding it together, just swapping spots between Howell, Worrell, and Harper. How long can that 4 remain on that low line, John, before his tires are just like enough? These guys pitted last on lap 56. So right now they're coming up to 20 laps course, we did have a number of these under caution, so
Yeah, it's not going to be very long because he's sliding more off the corner. It's just heating up his tires. It's going to be a matter of time before he has to get back up to the high side or, find some, because the majority of the guys are running the high line right now.
all right, lap 76 is in the books. Your leader is Christopher Howell. He's showing us the way. He's got a little bit of competition, though. He's got the 06 of Worrell on his tail. The 07 of James Lowe is right there. Nathan Harper in the 4 in that Cowboys-themed car at the Super Bowl this weekend. They're not in it. And you've got the 11 of Joey Doucette right there. Jesse Vaughn, another big mover. In fact, he is the biggest mover in the top 10. He is plus 16 spots up to 6th.
I got to say, it's fairly impressive there with him. And we'll see how far he can go up. I mean, it's going to be pretty interesting to see what he's able to do as he makes a possible. Ooh, wow, contact?
I didn't see it, but it was certainly close. I have noticed that the 7 of James Lowe was blinking a little bit earlier. He may have a connection issue.
Possibly. Well, as we stand, Rick, that 88 is still up in the
there
front.
was some contact a bit farther back, I think, with Lilith Peters, possibly getting into the back end of the 42. That's 42 is Jamie Dunning.
Ooh, car on the wall.
That's the 75, yeah. Tyler Peebles. You get caught on that safer barrier, it's just like glue. It kind of
it is.
It's hard to get off without upsetting the car dramatically. Back up front, battle for the lead here with the 7. The 4 has tucked in behind the 7. The 06 behind the 88. Of course, as soon as I said that, that doesn't happen. It changes.
Either way, though, this battle up front is coming down to it,
Yeah, so far that's the story of the night. This battle up front, and we've seen some guys. We saw Ward up front. We saw the 75 fallback Tyler Peebles. That's the 32 coming up out of pit road. Ryan Pittman is still on pit road from that accident, earlier incident he was involved in.
Oh, 06 was in the wall there for a second.
Oh, big move. That was the 11 of Doucette. He threaded the needle, dropped down low, and then popped back up, really jumping ahead. Now the 84 has got the 7 is now slipping back a little bit.
Just a little bit, but you're seeing these guys right now. You're either a bottom feeder or you're running the high line. There's literally nothing in between.
Well, my guess here, John, is that that's 11 of Doucette was saving his tires because he has turned it on here at lap 84. These guys all were last in at lap 56. So.
Yep, and 84 hit the wall again. Major contact for that machine. But the 11 is starting to put it on. Doucette, a strong contender last year. He's been strong every single season. here in the Tech for Troop Cup Series. What is he going to do now? Looking back up front, though, the 06 is looking to the inside of the 88 as we go down into 1.
He's actually poked his nose out a little bit. He gets shown as the leader, but the 88 had a run.
That 06 wants to win again very badly here, especially knowing that he won the first race of the season. He's like, you know what, why can't I go out and get another? So he's right here. You know, we are looking at 65 laps to go. 4 laps to go. Why not?
Well, let's take this opportunity. Jason, are you available to speak with us now?
Absolutely. We've been waiting for a good time to jump in. It's been a great race so far. I've been watching all of it.
It's been a
Excuse me there.
Oh yeah, no
For
worries.
one second.
You know, up front has just been a heck of a battle.
It has. One of my favorite schemes, and it's going to be our winner tonight, is going to be the 99 car of a Ruby. I'm hoping I pronounced that
You did.
correctly.
Absolutely.
Had a fantastic hood. I love the metallic finish to it. Really was something special. Having a hard time seeing if he's on the track now. I think he actually got bumped out.
Nope, he's still there.
Still there?
Yep, there's Marco
Fantastic.
right now. He's
Oh,
one of
yeah.
our Canadian drivers, actually, from London, Ontario.
Absolutely. So he is the Tech for Troops Scheme Skirmish winner this week, and he'll get some of that sweet loot and a shot at some future opportunities that may be coming up involving some design and some promotional stuff. A lot of things on the horizon.
All right, congratulations to Marco Berube, the winner of our second event of the season here at Kansas for the Tech for Troops Scheme Skirmish. While you're watching the 89 on lap 89, the 06 of Chris Worrell show us the way here. Look like the those top have kind of backed off a little bit, kind of gotten more in line. I mean, these tires must be taking a beating. They're now 33, 34 laps into these tires.
Yeah, it's about time to come down pit road for some of these guys, so we'll see when that happens. But as it stands right now, it is a tight battle up front, and these tires are not happy. Their best lap times, 31.48, 31.58, 31.53. Their last laps were 32.7, 32.6, 32.5. So over a full second of a drop-off right now on these tires. They are begging to be taken off, and definitely looking for some help there. When are we going to see the first taker? We actually, wow, I just called that. The 88 machine of Chris Howell is going to be one of the first ones down pit road.
Hard to catch up with. So you got Howell, Dunning, Peebles, Skytman all in. Oh, he came in kind of sideways in his pit.
I'm impressed they were able to get that car serviced right there. May take a little bit longer than expected.
Oh, he just took
Right sides only. Oh, and a caution. Wow. What a break for that team. They're going to be out front when all this ends up.
Oh, look
shaking
at
out. What happened?
There's a ton happening on the out of turn 4 on the front stretch. I think Barletta is involved. Meyer. We'll see if we can bring that to you. There's a lot of debris and parts off the front. I think of Charles Van Scoy's car.
Ooh, I think somebody came down pit road and somebody didn't know that somebody was going down pit road. I can see it right there in the bottom lane.
So we're found behind the 51. That car was just way off the speed. That's the 31. I'm sorry, the 81.
And the 32, or my bad, the 51 had nowhere to go.
No.
I mean, just nowhere to go.
Well, that's a heck of a mess for the 81.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there for Barletta.
30. I think that's Jeff Nairn above, kind of sliding through sideways. Skytman as well. Number of drivers slipping by. All right. Well, now we're back on pit road with a number of drivers here. As you can see, pit road is busy. A lot of
It's
different
busy
strategies.
Yeah, tons of different strategies here. We'll see how it plays out.
All right, let's go back up front, see where we are at, because as these things happen, everything changes.
Everything does. And with 55 laps to go, you got to be thinking about specifically who and what are you going to do when lap 125, 130, 135 rolls around, because that's going to be the last stop. I think they'll need one more stop before the end of this race, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, they pitted last on lap 56, but we did get a caution or two that came in. Here we are, lap 94. What's that math telling you, John? Where are we at here?
Say that again?
Just trying to figure out the math. If we're in at 94, you pitted last at 56. That's 38 laps on that fuel tank, but we did have a few cautions. So I'm thinking 35 or so laps. What do you think?
Yeah, 130. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's probably going to be the run, and that's what's going to be possibly the last stop for these.
Yep. One more
guys
stop.
And girl. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so Lilith Peters is now showing in second.
What a run for her.
Absolutely. And again, we can see, I think I can let's bring up our, so there on the board you can actually see the I rating of the different drivers themselves.
Pretty impressive.
You got Nathan Harper down there in 23rd. He's got a 5,600. Mike Slagger 33. But if you go up the field, Alonzo King, Sammy Harrell. Good mover for Sammy Harrell now showing up at 11th. So, all right. So we're getting the field back in order. Drivers pretty much got the wave round back to the tail end of the field. As the field begins to form up, the 01 gets in my opinion, I think that is the better position of the race on that outside line.
I am right there with you. I think it's the right move. I think it's the right place to be. Now, the 06 has the control. We'll see what happens on the bottom side, but right now, it's anybody's game. You got previous winners up there. You got rookies in the Tech for Troop Cup Series. Some big names up here. See what happens. Pace car should be dropping off in 3, 2, 1, and there he goes. Lap 96 coming to lap 97. Just under 55 laps to go. Green flag back out here, and wow, what a start from the 06 and the 07.
Great restart.
How long can this 06 stay out front? That's the question. He's led some of the most laps here tonight. He knows how to get it done. What is his possibility of winning, knowing he is probably one of the better drivers in this field purely due to I rating? And what do these guys have for him? Because right now, he's looking fairly strong.
Chris Morrell is out front. James Lowe is there. Lilith Peters takes the high line. The 11 of Doucette slips low. But the 7 is right there on the tail of the 6.
These two guys, like I mentioned in the pre-race, finished on the podium last week, so we'll see how they perform this week. I mean, they're obviously up front. They've been up front all race long. Who's going to get the win? Who's going to finish better? All I know is that these two guys are fast here at Kansas. Don't look too far back now. You have Joey Doucette there in 11th with Garrett Johnston up 33 positions, Rick, up to 6th.
That's just incredible.
Side-by-side battle for the lead now.
So this is a great race for a lot of these drivers, even the ones that did not make the field, because we've got a break next week. We've got a gap in our schedule for Valentine's Day for next week. It's a good opportunity for those drivers to take a break, to reevaluate. You're at a 1.5 mile track this week, and then when we come back in 2 weeks, next week, where are we? We're at Texas. That's another 1.5 mile track. Not that different. Go back, reevaluate. What did I do wrong? What can I do better? And work on improvement.
Sure.
James Lowe has moved out to front. The 06 of Chris Morrell is battling there with Joey Doucette in the 11.
Doucette dives down to the bottom.
Yeah, but don't look back too far, because you've got the 01 of Lilith Peters right there, and Zachary Allen just waiting for something to go wrong.
You know, they've done a great job all staying where they need to be. So it's really anybody's game up here in this top 5, top 6.
So right now it does look like these leaders will end up running up on the 21 of Ogden. He is potentially he's going to get caught up, and he is down lap wise, but that's basically a lapped car that they will have to deal with. Always a challenge as these leaders make their way up. James Lowe continues to show us the way here on lap 105, just 45 laps to go.
45 to go. Rick, it's going to be exciting to see when these pit stops start to take place. I'll be keeping track on my side to see when that first taker drops down. But how early do you think these guys are going to come down pit road, knowing that the fuel run maybe is 35, 36 laps?
Well, if it's at, say 135, that's only 15 laps, so you can short pit. You can short pit as probably early as lap 115.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, that would be the earliest.
That would be the earliest. I mean, it's gutsy.
And you've got to cover yourself for a green-white checker potentially at the end or more. So I think my guess is we'll start seeing them around lap 120.
I can agree with that. I think that's a good jump there. There's the 20 there of Garrett Johnston going on the inside of Lilith Peters there for P5. Biggest mover of the race so far, up 35 positions now. Followed by Zachary Allen, Justin Horton up 20. Christoph Hall up 28. And Cody Sturgill up 20, as well as Josh Keller up 22. Big movers here tonight.
Lilith Peters is on that outside from Tampa, Florida. She's got the 20 of Garrett Johnson to her inside, Springfield, Missouri. Again, these are new folks that if you're tuning in, you watched previous seasons here with Tech for Troops. These are new drivers, and we're excited to have this new blood in the field.
Oh yeah, it's good to have. It just shows you that we're growing here at Tech for Troops and the IWM Broadcast Network, and it's provided some amazing racing, and it couldn't be this way without the drivers, without you, Rick, obviously, everybody here with us in IWM Tech for Troops for being our title sponsor and partners here, and obviously everybody watching on all of our channels, especially YouTube. The YouTube family is so strong. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. As always, we thank you guys every single week. And don't forget, we have a new league that's going to be broadcasting starting tomorrow for a full season. You have the iNASCAR Racing Series. That's going to be at the Duels. This will be the Duels of Daytona, I believe, there, Rick. So
they are, yep. Which will actually, they'll use that to set their lineup for the following week, which is their Daytona race. So
I love it.
So the iNASCAR League, which is our Thursday event, they follow along with the schedule right there. Every race that you see on Sunday with NASCAR and the Cup Series, that's what they run on Thursday nights. So the night before, that's what they're running. So we'll do the duels in Daytona for tomorrow night, setting their lineup for their Daytona 500. And I'm looking forward to it. There are some fabulous drivers in that league as well. Oh, caution's out.
Who do we have this time?
Looks like
Peebles?
potentially and Jamie Dunning.
Well, Rick, I didn't mean to jinx him, but Mr. Tyler Peebles, what happened there? I see Dunning. I think it did involve Tyler Peebles, unfortunately. He's down. I think he had to tow to pit road.
Yep, I think that's what's kind of impacting our... Oh, we can see it there. Let's get a far chase side. That is never how you want to see that image. Well, 3 wide, and it looks like the 22 was there as well. Let's kind of step our way through this. So that's the 42 of Jamie Dunning. Looks like the 75 was off pace a little bit.
Yeah, I think the 42 was trying to avoid it then. That car on the inside kind of creeped up a little bit, and then the hole just kind of closed. Oh, well? No, I take that back. I think the 42 may have drifted up into the 75.
Just a little bit, yeah, and unfortunately I collected both of them. I think the 42 got the worst of it. Well, I take that back. That's like a cheese grater on the outside there for the 75. But what that has done is, let's go live, is we have a number of drivers who have made their way down as we are looking at that onto pit lane. And except for Lilith Peters and Alonzo King, everybody else pitted.
Ooh. Wow.
Here on lap 112. Now we thought, we could be wrong, that that mark would be, the earliest would be 115, but they pitted now. Do they need to pit one more time?
It's right on the number. I mean, if you have, we're going to be going green probably with 116. We're not going to get one to go this time by. It's going to be very close, and they may be trying to get massive track position to wait it out and see if they can make a full. Well, no, because they didn't come down pit road. Yeah, no, actually, I take that back. I was thinking they were going to come down, or they came down pit road already. No, I don't know. Unless they're banking on the rest of the field to have to come down another time, and they come down here within the next 10, 15 laps, maybe 20 laps. That's an interesting move. Interesting strategy call late in the race.
Yep, and they're not in the. I'm trying to see if. So Lilith is not part with Alonso. She's teamed up with Jeremy Flanagan and Nathan Harper. I'm not sure if Flanagan made the cut. No, he did not make the cut. He was in 46 for a qualifying lap, but her teammate is Nathan Harper.
It is, and what?
Back in 14th.
Yeah, so Peters and King both came down pit road on lap 93. So let's call it 96 with 3 laps there, and we have we've gone about 19. So I mean they have to come down within the next 15 laps, I would say, which is going to put them at about 130. Now we're getting the one to go now, so it's a bit of a shocking move because they are on much older tires. They're on about 20 lap old tires. It's going to be kind of what we saw last time. Now, Rick, I'm expecting a little bit of chaos. I don't know about you, but we've called enough of these races to know what happens when the 2 front runners don't pit and everybody else does. So,
well, with 35 laps to go before this race is in the books, you've got the front runners Lilith Peters 01 in the 01 and Alonzo King in the 80. They're pretty much going to be in charge of this restart, and they did not pit. How long can they stay up there with 35 laps to go?
I don't know. We're about to find out. Pace car is down. They're in the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air. The 01 gets a great start. Not so great for Mr. Alonso King. Stacks up the high line, and they're going 3 wide per second. Or maybe not. I thought the 06 was going to try to pull
right
down.
There. It's 3 wide. That's the 20 down below, the 06 in the middle, and the 80 up top.
They're okay. So car loose mid-pack.
Go
wrecking sideways.
Oh, takes out the 90.
Wow. He's going to slide back up the track. There it is, big wreck. We got the big one, folks, here at Kansas. Oh, man, that was a big wreck, Rick. That is 20-plus cars right there.
Bullard, Hable, Hall, Pittman.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yep, there's a lot of unhappy drivers.
Uber
Packard, Jeff Nairn.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, you had some guys come back up the track there. That 24 must have gotten insanely loose and overcorrected and collected what I don't know who that was, but we need to go back and review that one because that was our big one of the night. Also, I think we had some contact under caution.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think the 24 is definitely done. He is missing his nose on that car.
All right, let's see here.
Dig back into the replay, waiting for the booth to pick it up.
Yep. Man, that was a massive wreck. All right, there's the 24. That was the 92. Did I see that right or no?
I'm just backing it up far enough so we can begin to see this play out. 24 is drifting up, and he's loose.
Jeez.
43 of Harrell taps him in the back. That's the 98 down below. Gets collected. They're spinning.
Like synchronized spinning. Yeah, synchronized spinning there. And then the 98 goes back up into the field.
That's Christoph Hall.
if you want to do a far chase on this one or a rear or from the front side, you're going to see everybody behind him get involved in this one. I mean, it stacked up everybody. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a blimp cam or something. But I mean,
That's
was
stunning.
a massive wreck.
All stacked up behind. That's Ward.
You got Bobby Gibson up in that one, I think. Yep. You got, I mean, that was just so many people. Jeff Nairn, I think, involved. The 51 involved.
Yep.
You
A
got
lot of guys
so many
involved.
guys. Yep.
All right, so that may have just fixed the issue with fuel economy.
If you didn't come down pit road last time, you better come down this time.
So that was Lilith and the 80 of Alonzo King, right? So I know Alonzo King was in the pits. He is now on his way out. The 01 of Lilith. Let's see, I'm going through my list. Did I miss her? She did pit on lap 117. So yes, she did come down pit road. Now she came out in 13th, but other drivers did not come back. So
correct.
Interestingly enough, the top 6 did not come down pit road.
Yeah, you had. Excuse me. Had a couple guys come down on 114, but nothing too wild there. But that, Rick, that significantly shortened the field. I'm looking at cars on the lead lap. We went from 35 down to 26. If that tells you anything. So, major implications there on that one. Really quick, though, everybody that's watching on YouTube, comment the driver that you are rooting for in this race. We'll see who's cheering for who, and get some interaction with you guys. I can already tell who some of y'all are going for. Just due to your names, but
30 laps to go. 30 laps left to contest this event here in Kansas. Lights are off on top of the pace car. Leader has lane choice, so I'm guessing that was the 6 of Worrell.
I believe so. I believe yes. No.
Was that
For
the
me,
7
it's showing.
of Low?
I think it was the 7 of Low.
Yeah, so
got
our telemetry just shows us who's in the lead per se. It doesn't tell us who's there, so we can't really tell unless we were watching. But pace car is down. I thought it gave itself a bit of front end damage in that getting off the track there. But we are back underway here in Kansas.
Green flag. There goes the 07. Looks like Ryan is cheering for the 88, and Honeyman Gaming is cheering for the 19. So thank you for some of those comments there. And they're up in 4th there. And where's Ledger at?
He's in 4th.
He's in 4th. Yeah, they're up right there,
Yep,
right beside each other.
Yep. James Lowe picks up a really good jump.
Great jump. We got a big mid-pack field right here, Rick. You got a lot of guys all within a few car lengths of each other. And a lot of big movers. There's Jesse Vaughn there trying to make his way back up into the top 5.
Jesse Vaughn currently showing in 6th. He's got the 20 of Garrett Johnson behind him. Sammy Harrell now, he's cracked the top 10. Derek Cook, another name we haven't mentioned much. Derek is now showing in 9th. Justin Horton up there as well. Lilith Peters is now back up to 12th and working her way back up to the front.
Yeah, she has a little bit of fresher tires, Rick. So you got to think about that. Not much, but it will be a slight advantage in their fight back up into the front of the field. You see the lap down car of Harley Barletta there. Go 1 lap down right now. A big block put on by the 20. We got a lot of things going on right now. 84 in the wall, was in the wall. Hard to keep track of all this. 84 slides up again.
Well, this is the time to do it. If you're going to make a move, you got to move it now. You've got
Yeah, you
26
do.
laps left before this thing is done. And if you're thinking you're going to be able to get up sitting in 12th or 15th, you're not. You've got to get it going now, get up front, get those passes on. You've got fresh tires. Make a move.
Jesse Vaughn is on pit road, Rick. So not sure if that's going to be the end of his night or if he is coming down to get tires or penalty. I really don't know. I don't see anything on my scoring loop that tells me that. But I agree with you entirely. You have to make the move now. One driver who is making the moves.
He's definitely got some right side damage. He did put on right side tires and left side tires. He's doing a 4-stop change here.
Yep, and he's going to be held, it looks like.
Yeah, he's got a black flag. Well, that may be the end of Jesse's night, per se. We'll see where he comes back out. But back up front, James Lowe has got a good jump on Chris Moreau. That gap is not huge, but those guys are kind of distancing themselves and what's going on behind them.
Yeah, side-by-side battles there for 4th and 5th. And all the way back, you have some battles going on. It's intense. You got to make the moves now with less than 25 laps to go. You know this is possibly the end of the race. So what do? I mean, you have two thoughts of strategy here. You push really hard in the beginning of the run, you use up your stuff, or do you kind of be content with where you're riding, you save a little bit, and you make one final push? Rick, I want to know, where would you be in that situation? What strategy would you go for?
I think there's some middle ground there. I think that I would, in the top 10, I think I am maybe saving a little bit because the race will come back to me. But by this time, with 23 laps to go, I've got to go balls out. I've really got to, at this point, I'm going to hang it out there, do the best I can. I'm kind of focusing a bit here on Mike Slagter. He started in the 8th position, and now he's back up to 5th. This is just, we've been watching Mike's career, through the seasons here at Tech for Troops, and, he's just made improvement year over year.
Yeah, he's come close. He's come very close to bringing home a win. I don't think he has one yet, though, Rick. Am I mistaken on that, or?
I'm going to go back and look in the records. We need a statistician.
We do. We need something like that. I'll work on that. But he's been doing a great job this race, this season. He's always fast, and could he possibly get himself locked into the championship? That's the big question. I believe he was in the championship, Rick. Thinking about it now,
he was in the championship. I do remember that.
Yep. So he has brought home a win. I would imagine, or maybe it was by points. Either way, he is good enough to make it to the playoffs. We'll see what he's able to do tonight. But right now, James Lowe is gapping himself from the rest of the field, and here comes the 88 behind the 06, as well as his friend, Mr. John Ledger. So you're starting to see 2nd through 6th kind of back up a little bit, and that's just a beautiful sight. Look at all those lines being run.
Yeah, here we are with just 20 laps to go. They don't need another stop. They don't need tires. It's just time to get out there, find their spot. And if they're not going to make it to the front and challenge Low, it's get every spot you can. We've seen that, whether it's the Real Cup Series or the Tech Troop Series. Every spot counts, especially as we get deeper and deeper into the season.
Every spot does count, and it doesn't matter who you're fighting for. If you're battling for 15th, battling for 25th, 2 laps down, every spot matters.
Well, especially in the Tech for Troops Series, we've just got 12 regular season races. That's it. Yep. And then we go into playoffs.
Yeah, it's definitely, you gotta make it count, because normal Cup Series for NASCAR, you have 26 races. So double the amount of races you have there. So the opportunities are few and far in between here to win a race. So when you have the chance, you got to go get it. And if you have the chance to stack up multiple, you are just absolutely putting yourself up for success for bonus points carrying over into the playoffs, because that is what's going to matter is your bonus points. It's going to matter where you're seated. And if you could get a couple wins under your belt and be there in the first seed, I got to tell you, that is a good place to be.
So you see that there are some lap cars. I think that's the 23 of Van Scoik that's going around trying to make again, the sportsmanship. He's trying to stay up out of the way of these drivers as they're making their way around.
Yeah, tough break for Charles there. Hate to see it. But we got 16 to go, Rick.
16.
What does the 06 have?
Right? He's hoping he's got something for the 07.
The gap's kind of dwindled. It was at 0.8 about 5 laps ago. Now it's down to 0.43. We'll see, because you got 2 distinct lines being run here by the 06 and the 07.
Well, I'm pretty impressed with the line. The 20. The 20 has taken an aggressive approach. He's diving down. He's taking a more aggressive run. He's trying to work himself around the 19 and put his eyes on getting past the 88, because he's now making a run to the 88. He's now up to 4th. Garrett Johnson started 39. He's up 35 positions to top 4.
Are we sure Tony Stewart's not in that car, Rick?
Pretty sure.
Because he is driving like Tony Stewart would. He's aggressive. He does not care at all. He wants to go up there and battle for a win, and he has the potential to do it. He has been the fastest car on the track out of the top 6 or 7 this last lap around.
Here's an interesting fact. He's got 5 lap better tires. He pitted last on lap 117. So
there you go. There's the answer. 14, now 13 to go at Kansas. Gap is closing between James Lowe, a season 1 rookie, or season 4 rookie, I guess you could say. You got a proven winner last week, Christopher Worrell. You got Chris Howell, who's won here in the Tech for Troop Cup Series there in 3rd. With Garrett Johnston, a new face here in the Tech for Troop Cup Series, looking to bring home his first win, followed by Justin Horton. 3 new guys this time, Rick, in the top 5 battling it out. Chris Worrell and Christopher Howell's been there before.
Well,
we'll see what happens.
We're not sitting here awarding this trophy to James Howell, James Lowe, just at this moment. He is in a heck of a battle between himself and Chris Worrell, who has closed the gap.
He has, and he has a good run on the high side here. He's going to have a great run out of the corner. Is he going to give it to him? He does. So 06 on the high line, 07 on the bottom. What is going to happen now when they go into turn 1?
Side by side.
And, look behind you, Rick. Look what this does. It brings everybody else along for the ride. Side by side for the lead. And the 06 takes back the lead from the 07 with coming to 10 to go.
Field is pretty stretched out now. It's just down to these top 4. You do have Justin Horton, who's also made his way into the top 5. He's in that black 39.
He's there, and it's a battle right now for these guys. That high line is very favorable. Oh, big move by the 88. 20 drops down low. Here comes the 20.
Working his way around the 88. He's got his sights set on getting up to that 7, but the 88 of Christopher Howell is not giving in.
No, but here comes now the 39 of Justin Horton. Any side-by-side racing is going to influence the guy behind you and the guys in front of you. So the more that they battle, the less time that they have to move their way up to the front, and they are still side-by-side. coming to 8 to go this time by.
Leaders are going to have to deal with some lap traffic at some point. Good play of that. Oh, so close. I could have sworn that 20
Wow.
was going to tag that inside left-hand corner, but no.
Some good racing right there, though.
8 laps to go. Battle for first, battle for third. Just some great racing here.
It's not over yet. These guys are all up in the high line. 20 now is down below the 88, coming out of turn 4 with a little bit of help from the 39. Oh, they touched doors.
So close.
Get a push there from the 39. That's going to move the 20 into third. He probably has the position now as he may pull a slide job coming out of turn 2. Is he going to try it? He does. What is the 88 going to do? Pushes him down the backstretch. 88 goes low. 20 is all the way up high. Coming to 6 laps to go. Big run from the 39 there, Rick.
Huge.
And that's going to move Christopher Howell possibly outside the top 5 or top 4 as the 39 goes around the 88 machine. Up 36 spots is that 20 machine. Up 23 spots is that 39 machine, Rick. Yellow,
Oh,
uh-oh.
caution's out. With 6 laps to go,
no.
Alonzo King possibly involved.
Oh, how the turntables. Some may get that reference, some may not. Either way, I love that quote. All right, what do we got going on here? That happened way further on back. Oh no, that's not good. Oh,
Contact there.
oh, yeah, we got a little bit
Is
of
that
a.
the 37 of Skypeman?
I thought
No?
Skypeman.
Well, that was interesting.
Okay, so who is that behind Alonzo King then?
Good question.
Because that's not Sean Skypeman. I know Sean Skypeman is running the dad grass scheme.
Yep, let's just run this. We'll run this forward a bit and try to figure this out. So there we have King working his way up. We'll figure this out. We'll get a name in a second. Kelleher. Kelleher runs right in the back. Let's get a far shot from Josh Kelleher's. Let's kind of take this forward here. He does give Alonzo a tap and then moves to the outside here. Alonzo wants to close it. He moves up all the way.
Uh-oh.
Yep. And unfortunately, there's a little bit of contact. Alonzo King is scraped up pretty good. You can see he's got right front toe link is broken.
I think it was from the hit against the wall, though.
Yep. 37
Here comes
is still spinning, and unfortunately, I don't think he's got much control of that car with that damage.
Oh, wow. That's 2.
Yep.
Bumps him right back up into the track.
You can
Did
see
he collect Jesse Vaughn right there? I don't know if you saw that, but Jesse Vaughn got collected from this. Oh, me, oh, my.
Well, this is going to potentially put us in a green-white checker situation.
I think it will.
Here's an interesting fact for you. Joey Doucette stayed out. Ethan Thompson stayed out. They last pitted on lap 118.
Wow, that's bold.
And you've got Chris Worrell, James Lowe, Nathan Harper, Garrett Johnson, all just went, I mean, pretty much the entire field pitted. So this restart could be very interesting.
Also, just got word from race control, Alonzo King and the
Josh
73
Keller.
and the 73 machine. 73 machine of Josh Keller both disqualified for intentional wrecking. So that tells you what happened in that situation there, folks.
Yep.
And that is going to leave us with, I believe, about 19 cars on the lead lap. This is our first chance of the green-white checker. So if you're new to NASCAR Cup Series racing, they do a thing called green-white checkers. And that is where you get the green flag, you get the white flag, and then the next flag ends the race, which is going to be the checkered flag. We have 3 of those here in the Tech for Troop Cup Series. And this is attempt number 1 of 3. So if there is a yellow flag before that flag man waves the white, then we are going to restack them, re-rack them, and do it all over again. If not, then more than likely, you won't see a caution come out on the yellow or the white flag lap. You'll see the green flag or the checker flag in the race. So, Rick, you got 2 guys up front with old tires. Anything can happen now.
Yep. Yeah. I have no idea how this is going to play out. No idea.
We already saw a big one. So, are we going to see big one number 2?
See, that's the problem, because these guys could easily cycle back through, because everybody behind them pitted on lap 146/147. We're going to find out here. We're about to go back to green flag racing momentarily.
Green flag's out. Doucette, great jump on there on the outside. With 2 laps to go, Joey Doucette out front. Is he going to be the smart taker on this one? I don't know, because there's the 25, there's the 06, there's the 07. 25 is definitely on older tires, and here comes the 06, 07 to the outside. I don't know if the 11's going to be able to hold him off, Rick. There goes the 07 to the high side. White flag in the air. James Lowe is out front.
Chris Warrow moves up, but he's got the 11 is still there beneath. There's lots of shaking and
we're
baking
wrecking,
there. 4 wide. We're wrecking behind. But
we got to move for the lead, though. Here's the 06 to the inside of the 07 as they battle down in the turn 3 and turn 4. We're going to have a side-by-side battle. Here we go. Lowe got the run. James Lowe is going to beat Chris Rowe for the win here at Kansas with, guess who?
Garrett Johnston.
Up 36 spots to finish in P3, Rick. That is absolutely incredible racing from the 20.
That was the finish we were expecting to see here for certain. Fabulous
folks,
racing.
Don't go away, folks. We are going to interview the top 3. Got to say that now. We always see some people drop off, but I want to talk to Garrett about his 36th place jump in the field. I mean, that's immaculate. But Rick, what a great race!
Absolutely great finish for James Lowe, Chris Warrell, and Garrett Johnson. Let's bring up our finishing order. There it is.
There we go. James Lowe bringing home the win with Chris Warrell in second and Garrett Johnson rounding out your podium finishers. Stay tuned. We will be interviewing all 3 of those guys. Justin Horton finishes in 4th, up 23 spots. Nathan Harper and Lilith Peters 5th and 6th, with Mike Slatker in 7th, Christopher Howell in 8th, Joey Doucette in 9th, and Ethan Thompson rounds out your top 10.
Ty Bostic, great finish in 11th. Sammy Harrell in 12th. Zach Ward, 13th. Marco Bruby in 14th. Ryan Andrews in 15th. Derek Cook in 16th. And Harley Barletta finishes in 17th. And 18th, you've got Aaron Jackson, 19th. Cody Sturgill. Austin Habel finishes in 20.
Bobby Gibson, 21st. Sean Skytman in 22nd. Craig Mayer, Ian Ogden, and Christoph Hall round out 23rd, 24th, 25th. John Ledger in 26th. Jesse Vaughn, unfortunately, caught up in that last incident, finishes in 27th. 28th, Philip Vanner Twick. 29th, Brian Johnson in 30th. Charles Van Scoik.
31st, Rodney Uberpacker, Jeff Nairn, Zach Allen in 33rd, Jamie Dunning, Luke Bullard, Tyler Peebles, Ryan Pittman, Ryan Walter, Freddie Dursock finishes in 39th, Kane Vandermark in 40th, Doug Lockrow, Alonzo King, Josh Keller wrap up. I believe that is the end of our leaderboard and our finishing list. So let's see if we can get those. Oh, there he is. He is already in the booth. Let's bring Mr. Garrett Johnson into the broadcast booth. All right, Garrett Johnson, welcome to the broadcast booth, and congratulations on your P3 finish.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yep, we had a good run, came all the way from 39th, and almost had it. I'm convinced we would have had it if we wouldn't have gotten that late caution. I think I had the fuel strategy down, but I'll take a third any day.
Well, we were definitely watching your challenge. It was you were putting on a heck of a show. You know, there was one. I guess you had an off-cycle pit stop then, and we were wondering, what was going to happen. But you certainly made your way up to the front.
Yeah, I did the same thing I did exactly 1 week ago and just drove right through the pits without seeing my pit stop. So, or pit box. But it just made it that much more challenging. And who doesn't like a challenge?
Well, and certainly, we were commenting earlier with a full field like it is, better this than it was last week for certain, but still, it's hard to find your pit stop. Your pit box.
Yeah, and the thing I've noticed is normally your spotter will call it out for you, but when there's this many cars, he kind of likes to forget to tell you where it's at. So I started kind of having to just look for the people standing up on the wall, which I'm not used to doing, but oh well.
Well, definitely congratulations on your finish tonight. Any shout-outs tonight?
Yeah, shout out to my my aunt. I know she likes watching these, and my dad, grandma. Everyone who enjoys watching them as much as I enjoy racing. So thank you guys for doing this as well, and doing this every Wednesday night for us. And I hope to see you next week.
We hope so too. All right, that's your P3 finisher. That's Garrett Johnson in the 20. Driving his way all the way up from the tail end of the starting pack to finish in P3. And Garrett, you're welcome to hang out in the booth. We bring all the drivers in, so let's bring up our second place finisher, Mr. Chris Worrell. Chris, congratulations. Welcome to the broadcast booth.
Riggs Dowza. How you doing, brother?
I'm great, Chris. Super excited to see you up here again. That's 2 weeks in a row. You were battling James really hard through that field.
Yeah, that was a fun race there. There's a lot of good guys up front. Had a lot of fun racing up there. Hard racing at that. So.
Absolutely. What was your strategy on that restart? With that late caution had come in. So
the bad thing is, just to take right side tires, stay, be the leader, and Joey took the outside, so James was already gonna have a better jump being behind the leader on the restart. So my best thing was just to settle into third, let James get by, because there's just no passing. If the guys on the outside is like full throttle, if you got the outside, you got the preferred line. So when I saw that, the leader was restarting on the outside, I was kind of bummed. But either way, James got a little tight in the 2. I had a chance to dive bomb him into 3 and 4, but I decided against it, and just tried to keep it clean there. So at least one of us would get it, and congrats to James on the win.
Yeah, great finish. Any shout-outs tonight, Chris?
You guys, most importantly, Tech for Troops for being an awesome sponsor for the league. Yeah, I don't know what happened in that wreck earlier. I feel like I got blamed for that. Somebody stayed out on 25 lap old tires, and when they got tight coming out of turn 2, and just let off the gas right in front of me. Obviously I don't want to cause any wrecks or cause anybody's night to get ruined, but I just like to say there's nothing I could do there. You stay out, with 50% fuel, And old tires like that, you're gonna get tight, and you just have to pay the cost when that happens. So,
Yeah, it's
but
unfortunate. We saw a lot of
I tried to.
Yeah, I think that you probably see it through the replay that and it is what it is. So there were a number of
Yeah.
drivers who did try to take some gambles and stay out there with old tires. I'm not sure it paid off for anybody.
No, it definitely doesn't work. But like I said, 50% fuel, it already makes it tight even with fresh tires. So you get out there, um, with 50% fuel and no tires or worn tires, it just makes it really hard to exit. But yeah, I just wanted them to know. Obviously, I wasn't trying to cause any problems there. I tried to let off for them, but nothing I could really do. They kind of put me in a bad situation when they do that. But anyway, hopefully everything's cool. But thanks to you guys for the broadcast. Elliot for letting me join the league. Congrats to James. In third place, I believe,
Garrett
was
Johnson.
Garrett Johnson. Congrats to Garrett. And I look forward to next week.
Sounds great. Well, actually, next week we're off. We are
Oh,
off
nice.
for the Valentine's holiday. You can take your significant other out, and then we'll be back at Texas after that. So
Nice. Well, looking forward to it. Y'all have a good week off.
all right, that's your P2 finisher, Chris Worrell, and welcome to the broadcast booth. Your winner, James Lowe.
Hey, how y'all doing, man?
We're doing great. Congratulations on your finish. That was a heck of a battle all night long.
Yeah, it was tough there, man, because you wanted to save tires running the low line, but there was guys a little antsy. They kept on running the high line, so you had to kind of protect from that a little bit, and it was a mess there for a little bit, but somehow at the end there we came through with the 1-2 finish there, so it's a good night for us.
Absolutely. We were watching. Very often when we do a broadcast, we try to spend some time working our way back through the field, and it was hard to look away. I mean, at the front we had a constant churn of some great driving, great racing. No one broke away for some big gaps. It was just hard battles.
Yeah, it was extremely close, and then I felt like there at the end when I finally got to the lead and I started pulling away a little bit, I found a little something in 3 and 4 that was working really good. So I was hoping that things would just stay green, but you know how these things go. It never happens that way. But that last caution, we were in trouble. I was barely going to make it. It was going to be real close. Chris probably wasn't going to make it. And so that caution really helped us out. And then taking the green flag, going into 1 and 2, I showed what not to do when you leading the race on the last lap and about tore the wall down. But yeah, other than that, man, it was a really good race. Really good racing up front. I don't know how it was back there in the back, but everybody up at the front was racing really good, man. It was good competition.
Certainly was. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, first and foremost, I know my Aunt Mary Alice is out there watching, so say hey to her. Hope I did her proud. And my buddy Chris, obviously teammate, who we worked together all night long, and it worked out in our favor tonight, and hopefully it keeps on going that direction for the rest of the year, but we'll see. You guys for broadcasting, man, y'all do a great job. I watched back last week's great race, and it was awesome. I can't wait to watch this week's race. And Elliot for letting me come join the league, and Tech for Troops for sponsoring everything.
You got it. All right, folks, there's your winner, James Lowe, here in Kansas in the Tech for Troops Cup Series. We are off next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is our gift to you. It's Valentine's Day. Take your significant other, your mom, your sister, whatever, go out, enjoy yourself. But we'll be right back the following week. We'll be back at Texas, another exciting 1.5-mile track. If you're not doing anything tomorrow night, join us in with the iNASCAR League. We'll be at Daytona for the duels, and we'll be broadcasting that league on Thursday night. So again, from John, myself, we're thankful that you tuned in, and we appreciate you watching the IWM Broadcast Network. We appreciate you liking and following along, and if not, John, any parting words?
I just can't wait for the rest of the season now. This race has proved that we have a lot of skill, a lot of community, and a lot of good racing here with the IWM Broadcast Network and the Tech for Troop Cup Series. So excited for a week off, and then excited to come back at Texas in 2 weeks for 150 laps at Texas, 50% fuel to see who brings home the win.
You got it. All right, folks. Have a great night, and thank you for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network. We'll see you later.
Good night, folks.